All right, welcome back. We're going to take a look at Unit 3, aggregate demand and aggregate supply. We've already kind of looked at what aggregate demand and aggregate supply and the shifters of those curves are. Now we're going to practice working with the curves and looking at different types of gaps and then policy that goes with it. So here are the shifters of aggregate demand. If you forgot them, you might want to pause the video and take a look at those. And let's dive right into some practice. So we're going to practice shifting aggregate demand or aggregate supply. So this is going to be a little bit different because you're going to have to figure out, this should be, we're going to actually get rid of that one. And we're going to get rid of this one as well. We're not going to look at those. We're just going to look at the other one. Sorry about that. So let's do some practice. And the practice is, are we increasing aggregate demand, decreasing aggregate demand, increasing aggregate supply, or decreasing aggregate supply? I would suggest you practice graphing these as well while you're doing this. This would help tremendously. But let's take a look first at the first one. So a decrease in consumer spending. Well, we know that a decrease in consumer spending is going to, right? We know that a decrease in consumer spending is going to cause, if we have our aggregate demand and our aggregate supply here, a decrease is going to cause aggregate demand to decrease. And so we're going to get aggregate demand decrease. We know that the first one is going to be B. Okay, so basically, that's what I want you to do for each one of these. So go ahead and pause the video, figure out would aggregate demand increase, decrease, would aggregate supply increase or decrease. Go ahead and pause the video and work through those next 9. Okay, and we are back, and let's take a look at the answers here. All right, you'll notice that number, oh no, that's correct, never mind, sorry. So we did number 1 together. Let's go ahead and open this up into presentation. So we did number 1 together. Number 2, the impact on net exports caused by increases in the national incomes of our major trading partners. That would increase our net exports. So increase aggregate demand. Number 3, a large increase in the price of imported oil, right? That's going to decrease aggregate supply as that would be inputs, right? The price of oil is an input. If input prices increase, aggregate supply decreases. Number 4, government spending. That pretty much speaks for itself. Number 5, increase in wages. Now, a lot of people think, oh, increase in wages would mean people are making more money, so they'll go out and spend more money. This is, I guess that's true, but we're looking at a wage increase. And when we talk about wages, wages are always aggregate supply. Now, if I had said income, then we would be talking about aggregate demand. But since we're talking about wages, wages are an input, so aggregate supply would decrease. Number 6, effect on business investments. If there are negative business profit expectations, B, decrease in aggregate demand, that's investment. Number 7, a decrease in interest rates even though there is no change in price level. That's A, increase in aggregate demand. Basically what that means is a decrease in interest rates would increase investment spending. It could also increase consumer spending as well, people buying cars and homes, right? So interest rates are low. The price of borrowing money is low. So people are taking out loans to invest in their business or buy large ticket items. Number 8, government spending. Number 9, increase in productivity. That is the P in our IRAP. And number 10, the effects of a 25% stock market increase over a 2-month period that would increase consumer wealth, which would increase aggregate demand. If you have any questions on those, please give me or send me an email, and I'll try to walk you through them. Thank you.